Scott Brown here. This is a very exciting episode. We are at the Centre for Fine Woodworking here in Nelson. From here you can look out over the harbour towards Abel Tasman and Motueka. It's just a beautiful, idyllic location. And in this episode I'm starting the How to Make a Chair course, which is very fun. I'm learning a lot about woodworking and how to make the jump from building and the tolerances required there to woodworking and the much finer tolerances required there.
If you're going to make a chair, you will need some form of rudimentary drawing. Okay, so you think about a chair and you look at the front of it. What do you get from the front? Not a lot. What you generally get when you look at most chairs from the side view is you get you'll get more information. So that really isn't going to work for me, is it?
By the way, this is Stuart.
Okay.
This is our tutor.
Struggling with his snap-off knife. Yeah. Hang on. There are only a couple of really good chair books out there.
Was that Jeff?
You guess so. See, this is the one that we're working from.
Now, building a chair is considered like the pinnacle of woodworking.
Okay, there's two things in my mind that are at the pinnacle of woodworking. Drawer fitting and making, and chair making.
So to start at the pinnacle, it's a lot to take in. And one thing that I like that Stuart has introduced me to is the concept of eating an elephant.
Yeah.
How great is that?
It's so lovely. I mean, that's the most flattering thing that I think I've ever had in my 20 plus years of teaching.
If you're going to do something as ridiculous as eating an elephant, it's a big daunting task, right? Where do you start?
The whole chair is way too complex for us to get our head around. We want to break it down into small parts. Bit at a time, start at the tail and make your way forward.
You approach it one bite at a time, one step at a time, and that's how we're approaching this course. So we've got white ash here and we're going to machine it into a nice smooth surface. Thank you. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
So we're trying to make the most of the timber?
We are. So the goal here is, so clearly we've got the two templates that we want. We've got a back leg template and a front leg template.
Yep.
We know that with this one we've got to add a little bit of extra on the end. We have got it referenced to the edge. We're going to mark out the first one.
Just with like this kind of pencil?
Yes, a red pencil would be good.
So it doesn't have to be like a precise line at this stage?
No, at this stage we're not looking for a really tight line, because we actually want to leave some waste and we're going to come trim down to it. Okay.
Right.
The one that you might use your pencil for, you'll see that we've got a centre line here, and we will mark that one and we might bring that across the leg too.
As a reference?
That one is going to be a reference, so when we set the joinery out. Right? So then we'll lay those out and off we go.
Alright, this is the exciting moment where we turn one piece of wood into 4 pieces of wood, and they all have to be a particular shape, and it's white ash, so we don't want to get any of the cuts wrong. Is this the on button? So thanks to these templates, we can line up the center line that's on this timber with the center line on the template and transfer all the marks. And then when we go to router all this out, we're doing it from the right starting point.
Are there any similarities between woodworking and being a doctor?
In my line of work, you've got to be very obsessive compulsive.
What kind of doctor are you again? Sorry?
I'm a anaesthetist, a pediatric anaesthetist. So I do very, very tiny premature children. Okay.
Sorry, do you mind that I'm filming this? Is that okay?
No.
Okay.
That's a very exact kind of thing.
Very delicate work.
Yeah. And the same applies here. And you're also working with your hands. You're working with your hands, but on a completely different skill. So it's really relaxing.
Huh.
So everything's rough cut, and it's deliberately overhanging the lines that are there, and then we all have a starting point. They're running all the legs now through the table saw. First we get a nice straight end, and then we flip the leg, butt it into the stop that they've set up, and then we pass it through the table saw again, and we all end up with the exact same length legs. Now at that point you can then put it onto the little jig that we've made with the toggle clamps.
Have that reference line.
Well, I think if you line up, there'll be things on here to line up with the jig.
Yeah, as long as this is hanging over that,
yeah,
then you've got enough.
I got a whole lot of these from Temu.
So do I too.
So we've just been focusing on the legs, front and back, and for almost every single step we have a jig. We have a jig to cut it on the bandsaw, we have a jig to trim it on the router, and right now we're trimming it on the spindle molder. It's like a router, but it's just got a massive bit, and that massive bit has a kind of spiral going sort of diagonally like this, and then it's got several blades dotted throughout that spiral. And the benefit of that is you're cutting the timber at different locations. You're not getting vertical lines like you do on the router bit. The spindle molder makes it more tidy and also keeps it accurate. One bite at a time. How do you build a website? One step at a time. And you do it with Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform where you can build your online presence and run your business. It's a great place for entrepreneurs and business owners to stand out and succeed online. ScottBrownCarpentry.com is set up on Squarespace, and if I started a woodworking career, I could easily set up another domain, ScottBrownWoodworking.com, and I can do it with Squarespace because they have a domain hosting service built into the platform. Not only do you not need to know how to code because Squarespace has it all built in, its drag and drop functionality will allow you to put your images in, put your text in, and you don't have to be a computer wizard to do so. They also have introduced new features such as a course building feature, and with that you can create a paywall, and behind that paywall you can have your own videos hosted on your website, and you can have a course that people can sign up to, pay for, and learn. And Squarespace also have thousands of templates that you can choose from to make your website fit your style and aesthetic. It is a really great website building platform, and if you want to try it out for yourself, they also offer a free trial. And then once you're ready to launch your own website, make sure you first go to squarespace.com/Scott Brown Carpentry, and then you can save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
What was the verdict, Jen?
What's that?
What was the verdict?
Well, we need to make a spacer block to give us an accurate length of mortise.
Yep.
And spacer block to give us the centre of our mortise. And then we were just testing that we can get the depth we need out of this particular router, which we can.
Yep.
So, yeah, just a few adjustments.
Alright. Oh, geez. It's not what you see in a woodworking class typically.
One thing that I'm learning about woodworking after a couple of days is that jigs are a woodworker's best friend. Jump in there. With building, I always wondered how do they get it so accurate? We cut to the millimeter, but they almost need to go more. And not only does it need to be accurate, it also has to be repeatable. So we're doing how many chairs? 8 chairs, and they're all exactly alike. So these jigs are where it all comes together. And when I first looked at this router jig, it looked so complex. There's all these clamps and screw holes and little wing nuts, and I honestly didn't know where to start. But now I realize all it is holding the piece of wood in place, giving your router a space where it can sit in, and then router away. All the complexity is just to allow it to hold different shaped wood. This is the Michael Fortune router jig, and I think I'll try and build one of these days. Jigs! More jigs. Are there any more jigs? Oh my god, look at all these ones. They're everywhere.
Do I need earmuffs for this, Davis?
I'll show you what we're going to do.
So, do I need earmuffs for this one?
No, you don't.
Alright.
Except our screens, no. So we're just going to get a little skinny piece and attach it here and just bend it round into a hoop. We'll attach it here and pull it off and put it on that drying form there.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's cool.
The
Just
first
like
one went really smoothly, but now you're videoing.
No,
It's going to be fun.
See? Jigs. More jigs. I love it.
you ready?
I am ready.
Just twist it like that. Just hold it there.
Ready?
Yeah.
Get that on there, Dave. Ready?
Put another one on there.
Damn.
It just came out of the steam box. You probably should have seen that too, but
Yeah, 15 minutes.
15 minutes steamed,
Yeah, because
15
it's only
minutes
quarter-inch
steam.
thick.
yeah,
and then it can bend like that.
it can
Oh,
bend
yeah.
like a piece of.
That's crazy. And then what? By keeping it in this form, it holds that
It'll
shape?
dry now because it's basically come out pretty sopping wet. It's been in boiling steam for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So when it comes out, it's sopping wet, and it'll take probably a couple of days to fully dry. Probably the most visual bit of woodworking you can do, steam bending.
Yeah. Satisfying.
It's very satisfying. Yeah.
What are you guys making?
I hope that will be attached onto here on the back of this piece and becomes a wall mounting.
That is
Sure.
cool. I love it. That's awesome. Are you selling these or?
No, it's
Yeah,
class.
yeah. You're,
class.
for you, man, a special price.
The 6-day class that Dave and I are team teaching.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are these like an example of what they're going to build?
Yeah,
Yep.
they're all going to build one of these fellas. So these are the steam bent bits,
Yep.
and then we cut the joinery to peg them
Oh,
together.
that's cool. Yeah, I love
So
that.
that wedge holds them together, and then these pieces are slotted in with more nice joinery, and then we cut a nice curve to match this curve
Yep.
on each long end, and set a little panel in the middle. It's set in there, and then 2 screws, and you can attach it to the wall.
That's cool, man.
That's not nice, isn't it?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, cool.
Right, we're down flat, aren't we?
That, eh? So how many days does that need before you can take it out of the form?
Ideally 3 weeks.
3 weeks, wow.
So we're pre-bending these ahead of the class because the class is a 1 week class.
Yep.
So the students will all do a steam bend, their own steam bend during the class, but those parts go to one side for the next class and they get given one of the ones that's already dry. So that allows us to teach the class in 6 days.
How do you know when it's ready? Like, can you read the moisture content, or do you just...
You can check the moisture content, but it takes, so what happens is you've got to let the timber cool down, and you've got to leave enough time for the lignin to reset, so it has to properly cool, and then it's got to dry out, because we've added a lot of moisture with the steam in the box. You've got to let the moisture content come back down as well. So, and we're steam bending kiln dried material here too. So it means it's starting at a lower moisture content, so it will return to low moisture content more quickly. But if we're steam bending at 16-18%, you've got to get the moisture out you've added in the steam box, but then you need it below that before you can work on it anyway. Because most of the timber we're dealing with is sort of 8 to 10%.
Like typical woodworking timber is?
Yeah, some of it's coming from, it's kiln dried, and some of it is crazy dry.
Yeah.
Like way below 8%.
Gosh.
Yeah, just depends where it comes from.
Super interesting. Thank you for showing me that.
Oh, no, pleasure.
Oh, wrong way around. Yep. So far so good with this chair building exercise. If you want to know more about the woodworking school, I'll put some links below. I'm really enjoying it, by the way. This is really cool. And if you want to see how this chair making goes, make sure you subscribe and tune in to the next exciting episode. Thanks for watching. Wish me luck.